When it's simple, you can go fast. When it's simple, when you have clarity, when you've got direction, it's so much easier to get stuff done, to actually make progress on your goals. But when you're stuck with overcomplicating, overthinking, over-strategizing, nothing happens. You felt this. You've had ideas. You've had goals. I have too. Dreams, goals, ambitions, desires. Like, here's what I want to do. And then what do? What's the next step? We make it so big. We start thinking of all the possibilities of where it could go and what could go wrong. And we start planning and overthinking and researching and more planning and more research and more. And then as a result, nothing happens. Nothing happens because we've now wasted days of just research, planning, thinking. And we've made it so big that we feel like we can't do it by ourselves anymore. Like now we can't get started because we need a team, we need money, we need investors, we need promotion, we need people to help us. We need all these things so we never actually make. Have you been there? I lost a $40 million deal when I was 20 because of that. Because of overthinking, over-planning, over-preparing, and not enough doing. And it's not that planning isn't important, it's just not the first step. The first step is to get really clear, really narrow, really specific to this is what I need to do, and then going off and doing it. Because you have time. We feel like we don't have time. Even if you have a job, you have family, you have time. The problem is the time that you're spending on your business is not intentional enough, is not simple enough, is not clear enough, and you spend your time going in circles, overthinking instead of actually doing. Does that sound familiar? I was on a call yesterday with Alex, who helps me run Trying to Dance Salsa. So Trying to Dance Salsa, Canada's largest salsa dancing school, maybe North America. You want to learn how to dance salsa, it's the place to be. Got hit incredibly hard because of COVID, right? I mean, think about COVID. You can't be 6 feet close to people. Salsa dancing, you're dancing with strangers, right? You can't do that. It's the least COVID-friendly business on the planet, probably. So we had to shut down. We moved to online classes, which have been okay, but haven't been where we needed to go. It's just basically a bridge to keep the business on life support. While my other businesses, YouTube, etc., have blown up because people are at home and consuming content, my salsa dancing business is on life support, is on the verge of shutting down because we have no business. I'm paying 6 figures in rent for my location and have no students coming into the store. So I was talking to Alex yesterday, and it finally opened up here in my province of Ontario, where we can do, if you've been double vaccinated, you can do things like dance classes. They just announced it. And like, Alex, we need to start selling classes. Like, this is the now priority. Like, let's get back to selling classes. It won't be for everybody. We don't set the rules. It's not on us to determine who gets in or out. This is what the government says is allowed, so this is what we're gonna do. And when it opens up to everybody, we'll open up to everybody. But we can now actually have in-person classes where people can dance with each other. We need to ASAP. This is the priority. Make this happen. And so we set up a plan of motion for, here is the focus. Everything else, all the other distractions, all the other projects, all the other ideas we had that may work, may not work, scrap it all. None of that stuff matters. All that matters right now is getting these classes set up and sold. We created the plan. And then just before we hung up, Alex asked me, hey, Evan, one last question. What are 3 things you think I need to work on to be a better leader to help grow this business to the next step? Alex, don't even think about that right now. So my answer's like, that's just gonna distract you. All you need to focus on right now is saving the business. All you need to focus on right now is selling those classes for the people who can't show up. Everything else, all the other thoughts are great, but not what we need right now. For the next 2 months, this is all we need to focus on. Sell those classes, save the business, then we can worry about how good a leader you're gonna be and how we're gonna take over the world, teaching people how to believe in themselves and have a place where they belong through salsa dancing. Could this be a giant business? Yes. Could there be a salsa dancing business, a Toronto Dance Salsa in every major city across North America? Yes. Could this be a burgeoning online business as well? Yes. There's so many different directions this could go. So many. Now, right now is not the time to be overthinking it. Right now is not the time to be planning for 5 years from now. Right now, all you need to do all of your energy needs to be focused on this, selling the classes. He said, okay, well, maybe in my spare time, I should be focused on, I can think about that. Like, no, there is no, like your spare time is either time off because you need time off and you're sleeping or eating or whatever, or is doing this. This is the only thing that matters. Sell those classes, save the business. That's all that matters right now. Your spare time is this, or it's actual spare time, right? But if it's time, any time spent on the business needs to be spent on this. That's all that matters right now. Simplicity, clarity, focus, and the company is saved. And I think that's really valuable when you feel stuck. If you feel stuck and overwhelmed by your big ideas, this is something we all face. You get big ideas, you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, all these things that can happen, and our entrepreneur brain takes over and imagine all the possibilities, right? When you're feeling motivated, bold, courageous, all these ideas, possibilities, where you could go, the things you're gonna see, it's all inspiring. And then maybe an hour later or the day later, all of the worries and fears and insecurities and doubts creep in. It's like, who are you to do this? And then that keeps us stuck. So if you feel stuck, the way through stuck is action. The way through stuck is doing something. The way through stuck is picking something and building some momentum on it. So let's work on a system. Let's give you some ideas for how to actually do it. Step number 1. Go back to what your big why is. Like, what is the big mission you're trying to create? Let's just try to get clear on that. If you feel super stuck, overwhelmed, frustrated, lack of clarity, lack of momentum, go back. What are you trying to actually do? I'm trying to solve the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. What are you trying to do? What's the big one sentence thing that you are trying to do that you need to remind yourself of? Like anytime you feel like you're not making momentum or you just spent a week and you wasted it and nothing happened, this is how we get back to clarity. Great, make it simple, get clarity, awesome. How to do it? This is how to do it. These are the steps. This is the practical 1, 2, 3 of how to do it. 1, remember the why. The one sentence, why you do what you do, what are you trying to accomplish, what's the why? Evan Carmichael wants to solve the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves enough. What is yours? If you don't know what it is, pause the video, write it down, think about it, go for a shower, go for a walk outside. Like, what is the one sentence of what you're trying to accomplish? Because without that northern light, you're wandering around aimlessly. You have to figure that out. Step number 2, to accomplish that, there's a million things you can do. If I want to solve the world's biggest problem, there's a million things I can do, right? Don't get overwhelmed by that. Step number 2 is, what's the most important thing that you can do right now? With the tools that you have, with the resources that you have, with the capabilities that you have, what can you do right now? What's the simplest next step? It doesn't even have to be the whole big thing, right? So for example, whenever I'm working with an entrepreneur at the beginning stages of a company and they're pitching me their whole idea, amazing. I look at this in movement makers a lot. People come into movement makers full of hope and dreams. I want you to make money. It's like, it's great. Like, yes, you have a purpose and a mission and you have to make money. So what's the fastest way? Ask yourself this question. What's the fastest way you can start to make money off of your idea? Because once you start to make money, it frees up a lot of mental stress and energy. It allows you to invest more into the business, to hire a team. It allows you to quit your job and go full-time on your company. It allows you some security and safety and that what you're doing is working and getting results. Like, money solves a lot of problems. It doesn't solve all the problems, but it solves a lot of short-term pressure and problems. And so we need to figure out how to start making you money. So inside of your big thing, your big idea, what's the fastest step to start making money inside of what you're doing? Not doing something totally, don't start another business just to make money to feed the business that isn't making money. Don't do that. No, it's one business. But inside of that business, what's the thing that you can do that you enjoy that can make you money? Even if it's not the long-term thing. So for example, somebody who wants to do books and courses and products, the first step often is coaching. Before you worry about writing the book, before you're worried about creating your first product, don't do that. That's so much work, that's so much time. You're gonna make mistakes anyway. The best thing you can do is start coaching people. Coach people, get paid, put money in your pocket. Yes, it's trading your time for money, but you're getting paid now instead of just writing the book and spending months or a year writing without ever seeing a dime. But also understand that to be a good author, to be a good speaker, to make good content, why can I make these videos? Because I've coached so many people. Making videos, speaking, writing the book is essentially group coaching with no feedback. You're not getting any feedback until after the fact. I get the feedback from the comments, right? I get the feedback from people who see my books, read my books, etc. But when you're in it, you don't get feedback. So most people make the wrong product. You make the wrong speech, you write the wrong book, you create the wrong course because there's no feedback. The best products to make are ones that people you've coached through. So what are people hiring you to coach for? Then the most common questions you turn into products. So that's what I want you to start thinking about is what are, inside your big mission, what's the fastest way to start making money? What's the fastest way to start turning this into something? So we have clarity of our why, the one sentence, right? Step number one, clarity of one sentence. Two, what is the first step to start monetizing this, to start making money so we can have a little more flexibility and freedom? And then step three is what are you gonna do right now? Today matters. It's not just about making a plan. How many times have you made a plan? If planning was enough, everybody would be successful, happy, rich, etc. The plan is not enough. The plan is easy. The plan is also fun. It's fun to make a plan. So inside of that plan, even for your first small step, great, what are you gonna do today? If it's start a YouTube channel, great, film your first video. If it's do coaching, great, start reaching out to people. Is it start a workout plan? Great, go to the gym and do your first 8 push-ups. Or even right now, forget the gym, do it at home. 4 push-ups, go right now. Like what's the first step, immediate, that you're gonna take today? Not wait again tomorrow, not wait till next week, not wait till your birthday, not wait till January 1st. Stop waiting, stop teaching yourself that you're the kind of person who waits. You don't wait, not anymore. Not on your dreams, not on the things that matter to you. We're not the waiter anymore, we're the action taker. And the way to actually do that is not just tell yourself an affirmation that you're an action taker, it's to go and do it. So you start with what your big mission is, the one sentence, what's the why? Then we start thinking underneath that big idea of all the million things we can do, what's the one that's gonna actually start being able to bring money in so that it funds everything else that I'm doing? And then step number 3 is, what's the step you're gonna take today? Right now, immediate action today. When you can get that clarity, when you can get that simplicity, when you can stop overthinking everything, overanalyzing everything, over-preparing everything, getting started to get started to get started, when you can overcome those things and just get it down to this is what I need to be doing for the next week, month of my life, and then start actually building momentum towards it, you can make so much more progress. You can make so much more momentum happen for your life, for your goals, for your ambitions that maybe you've made in the past decade. I've seen people get more out of 1 week of action than the past decade of sitting on their dreams and planning and preparing. That could be you, if you can just simplify by following those 3 steps.
If you want another Evan rant video that just might give you the confidence you need, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I think too many people settle too early on in life for the wrong aim. People settle for the wrong business. People settle for the wrong career. People settle for the wrong relationship.